Hey guys, welcome back to Hoosier Hardware, and today we have a product review of the Arctic Freezer 33 eSports 1. Now, Arctic actually reached out to me in late November about reviewing this product because they were just launching the eSports 1 along with, I believe, the regular eSports variant, which just has 2 fans instead of 1 in the United States and Canada in December, which is the month that I'm recording this. Now, at $30, the Freezer 33 is going head-to-head against the Cooler Master Hyper 212 Evo, which has been a standby aftermarket cooler for a long time in the PC crowd. Both the Freezer 33 as well as the 212 Evo feature 120mm fans. They both feature 4 copper heat pipes, which are full contact heat pipes on the bottom of this cooler. There's no cold plate between the heat pipes and the CPU. They actually make direct contact. But I actually find the Freezer 33 here to be a lot more aesthetically pleasing than the Hyper 212 Evo. Now, there's really not a whole lot in this box aside from the cooler itself. We actually have a box of mounting hardware, which I'll get to that in just a second. And then we just have the cooler itself. Now, I've actually already put the mounting brackets on the bottom of this, which is just extremely easy to do, and then reattach the fan. The fan itself attaches with this clipping mechanism, so it's a toolless attachment design, and it does have some rubber pads there to dampen the sound of the fan, which I didn't really notice in regular use. It's a pretty quiet fan, actually. And the cool thing about this fan, the fan itself actually has the normal 4-pin PWM connector, but it also has an extension attached to the fan itself. So if you add a second fan to this heatsink, which the mounting hardware to add a second fan, the same clipping mechanism is included in the box, you can actually plug that fan directly into the already existing CPU fan, and that's really great in case you don't have an extra CPU fan header on your motherboard. Now, this thing does come in several different color options. I picked the white and black version because, frankly, that fits my aesthetic best, but I believe there is also a green, yellow, and red version for this cooler. Now, for some quick specs in case you're trying to fit this into your build, this cooler does stand 150mm high when it's installed. It does support the AM4 platform on the AMD side, as well as the Intel LGA 2066, 2011, and all of those 1150 whatever sockets. So 1150, 1151, 1155, 1156, all those should be supported with the mounting hardware included. What's not supported is older AMD platforms, so FM2 Plus or AM3 Plus. Now, in addition to the screws that are all included in labeled baggies, such as this one, you also get a backplate for the LGA motherboards. So the AMD AM4 platform already has a backplate on the motherboard, and the mounting hardware for this cooler utilizes that pre-included backplate. But for LGA platforms, you need this mounting bracket. You also get the mounting hardware for a second 120mm fan, even though it's not included. That's a great touch to see included there, as well as some rubber sound dampening pads that you can put onto that second fan if you do add it. And for the user manual, they went a non-traditional route here. We don't have a paper copy included. You actually just get a little card that redirects you with a QR code to a website where you can actually check out the user manual, which then gives directions for actually installing this cooler. But frankly, it's really, really simple, so I don't really think you'll even need this. In case you do, it is included. I mean, maybe they are trying to save the environment. This is a carbon neutral CPU cooler, so just a thought. Now, aesthetics and price point aside, some of the cool features aside, I'm sure you are curious how this thing performs. I tested it against my Ryzen 1800X at, I believe, 3.9 gigahertz and 1.36 volts. So I could have gotten a better overclock on this processor if I was really, really into trying to get the least amount of voltage for the highest amount of clock speed. But frankly, at 3.9 gigahertz, it's extremely stable for me, and heat is plenty under control. So that's what I've been rolling with as my daily setup anyways. So I'm going to include the numbers from the Corsair H100 IV2 against this. Unfortunately, I don't have a Cooler Master Hyper 212 Evo to compare this against, so you'll really just kind of have to take a look at the numbers here and decide whether it has enough cooling potential for your CPU or not. But long story short, in my opinion, it does. So like I already said, guys, the link for both this version, the eSports one, as well as the other version with 2 fans will be in the description down below. There are multiple color options available for both of them. No, I'm sorry though, right now there is not an RGB variant of this cooler. But I am curious about your guys' thoughts on this cooler. Do you like the aesthetic of it, and would you consider purchasing it over the Hyper 212 Evo from Cooler Master? Let me know down below. And of course, if you like this content, give it a like, share, subscribe, and comment down below. Those things all help out a lot. You can follow me on Instagram and on Twitter at Hoosier Hardware, and as always, I'll let YouTube queue up some more videos around me from my channel for you to watch. I'm Shane with Hoosier Hardware, and I'll see you guys in the next video.